In our news bulletin for this evening, Niue works on finalising the National Plan for Oil Spills Response with support from Maritime New Zealand and SPRIT. Veterinary surgeons and nurses return with medical supplies to offer services for animal welfare free of charge. Makefu Whale Kahuatua marked 20 years of the Village Show Day and a vibrant community. Mother's Day and White Sunday was the main focus for congregations over the weekend. Niue is getting assistance with preparing for potential disasters involving oil spills. A training workshop supported by Maritime New Zealand and the South Pacific Regional Environment Program held at the Niue Golf and Sports Club to ensure that there is a contingency plan in place in case of an oil spill disaster. Niue is one of a number of Pacific Islands, part of the Pacific Islands Marine Spill Contingency Plan, also known as PAC Plan, that is a guide for countries to put in action when there is an oil or hazardous or noxious substance spill requiring urgent action. This week, key transport, environmental, border and response and disaster management agencies on the island are in the process of developing and completing a national response plan for oil spills.
What we'll be producing is a risk assessment which will identify the risks and all the different potential environmental impacts. That information will be fed into the Niue Marine Oil Spill Contingency Plan, and we're also finalising the draft plan, so that will be approved hopefully at the outcome of this. And we'll also be identifying potential improvements that can be made to Niue's response capability for oil spills. Niue is signed up to the PAC plan, which outlines the international kind of response and support activities that can be provided for islands in the Pacific, and New Zealand is responsible for assisting Niue with any oil spill response that is beyond their capability. So, people such as myself and our colleagues will be coming up here to assist with all our equipment and response capability that we have in New Zealand.
Although Niue has the Disaster Council who normally oversee the coordination of response, it is also important that key agencies are identified to take the lead in dealing with such risks or disasters. In the event that there is an oil spill disaster that is outside of Niue's capabilities on island, Maritime New Zealand have indicated they will be able to assist as the first response, but also understand what challenges we have here on the island.
From our Maritime New Zealand perspective, we're getting a very good understanding of who we'll be dealing with if we do need to assist with a response up here, understanding the challenges and the unique kind of circumstances around oil spill response in Niue, but also the government departments that we'll be working with will be getting a much better understanding of our requirements and the implications for an oil spill response in Niue. So it's going really well. I'd like to say thank you to all the people of Niue for being so accommodating for us. It's just wonderful to be here. I hope that we never have to come here in anger and during an oil spill response. However, we really enjoy assisting countries such as Niue with these activities. They're beautiful places to come to, and we want to make sure that they keep them that way.
There will be a practical exercise on Thursday this week to put into action the plan that will test and identify areas that may be lacking and also finalise a national plan to prepare for any oil spill disasters. A team supported by the South Pacific Animal Welfare Organisation are on the island once again to provide veterinary services for animals on the island. SPOR is an animal aid organisation that works alongside local agencies in Tonga, Samoa, Fiji, Niue and the Cook Islands, providing services that include veterinary care, spaying and neutering, animal husbandry, livestock care, parasite and vaccines. This week, a makeshift veterinary clinic has been set up at the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, where the team will be carrying out a range of procedures. This time round, the team from the Pakuranga Vet Clinic have brought 3 vets, 3 nurses and an administrator who are keen to help improve animal health and population on the island. We caught up with the team yesterday as they started working.
We love animals. We had to fundraise a huge amount of money to come over here. We're doing all of our services free. Worming, flea treatment, vaccination, the desexings, antibiotics, painkillers, everything is free. Nobody has to pay for anything.
It's important that we keep them where we want them, they keep on hunting the way we want them, and they're integrated into a population without disease problems. So our objective is to spay and neuter as many as we can, return them to the villages, wormed, neutered, vaccinated, so there's no disease problem, and we've got a healthy population that's not breeding. So that's the ultimate goal.
And we've just found out this visit that there is a sexually transmitted disease in dogs in UA. There's been a dog here diagnosed with it. So that's going to be a huge concern if that starts to escalate. And obviously we don't want all these unwanted puppies and kittens to deal with. It won't change the dog's behaviour in any way other than they'll be more settled because they're not interested in finding a mate. So they'll be a better pet, they'll be a better hunting dog, because a hunting dog that smells a girl that's in heat will be more interested in a girl in heat than in hunting. So it is important even for hunting dogs to get them desexed.
The issue with wandering and feral cats and dogs has become a problem on island, and the desexing and spaying program is important to help control numbers and breeding. The dramatic increase in numbers may also have an adverse effect on the other key populations of birds, coconut crabs and other fauna that are attacked by feral cats and dogs. This has also been a good learning curve for those within the team working under slightly different conditions here on island.
But it's also a good learning technique because we use anaesthetics that are totally different than we would normally use in New Zealand, and those anaesthetics need a lot more monitoring, so we haven't got monitors that we bring, ECGs and blood machines and pulse oximeters and things like that. We haven't got those here, so it is true nursing where they're listening with a stethoscope to the breathing, they're checking the colour, they're checking the reflexes. So it's back to the old way of nursing. So I think that's why they're so keen on coming back.
There's a great tourist economy here on the island, and the last thing you want is people to come here and just have dogs fighting and roaming everywhere and dodging them with their cars and cats coming to scavenge out of rubbish bins and things. So to control that population, it's just getting that mindset in that it's better for Niue and it's better for everybody if they're desexed.
The team have also set aside time for visits to piggeries and chicken farms while on island to look at ongoing care and breeding programs that will help improve livestock.
The breeding program, because unfortunately here we've got a limited breeding numbers to breed from, and we may look at recommending swapping boars or altering a sow so that we can alter that genetic material and avoid problems and get bigger litter sizes. So it's our ability of being here is to give as much information that we can that we think is useful to everyone. So it's all the learning curve.
The team are here for the week and are more than happy for people to bring in their animals that require some medical care, even those that do not belong to anyone. Medical supplies and vaccines for animal welfare and healthcare will also be left on island with Brian and Teresa Scott at Namkulu Motel. Sunday was an exciting time for children and mothers as they celebrated White Sunday and Mother's Day last weekend. Children of all ages, dressed in white, were eager to share their thoughts on a variety of topics set out for White Sunday that is part of the Ikalise Cristiano Niue events. For some parents and family members, they had prepared short Bible verses and speeches weeks in advance for children to memorize and present to the congregation on White Sunday. Parents and families looked on with admiration and affection as their children stood in front of the congregation to say their sermons, sing a song, or be part of a skit or drama. Mothers, they consider children memorizing sermons as one of the greatest gifts for Mother's Day, and children are often promised a great spread and dessert when returning home if they do impressively at church. A majority of Ikaliseers had a Mother's Day program gifting mothers with thank you cards and flowers. White Sunday normally takes place once a year on the second Sunday of May. That also coincides with Mother's Day. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Don't forget to tune into Radio Sunshine tomorrow for the Niue Legislative Assembly meeting and presentation of the budget.